I do not understand this total craze with Jeffrey Epstein. I really don't. And it's really pissing me off because I've heard so many people just talk about...
Because they are going after Attorney General Pam Bondi.
I just
and I wonder why.
get a bit
Maybe
of a
this
clip
is
of
why.
it.
Breaking news right now. You're going to see some Epstein information being released.
What kind?
A lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing.
So a lot of flight logs, a lot of... I didn't actually hear anything she said, but I don't give a shit about the flight logs. Why would I care about a bunch of people going to an island? It's not about the flight log. It's about what they're doing on the island. It's really pissing me off because I'm hearing so many people that are focused on the wrong things. They want to know what the list is rather than know what the list is about. If there is a list, what the fuck is the list about? Because if the list is just a list of people that he's met, e.g. people that he's had coffee with or people that he's met or people that are on his phone book, then this is a list that has no value for the public because this is his private information. And it's really pissing me off because a lot of people are saying that we don't want to know who he had coffee with. We want to know who was on the client list. And then it's just like, yeah, well, the client list doesn't actually mean anything because technically I have a client list. I've got a whole client list. I do massage. I've been doing it for about 14 years with gaps in the middle. And not everyone on my client list is a pedophile, is a pervert, is a this and a that. And it's just, it's really stressing me. It's really stressing me out because from the video clips that I've seen of victims talking about their experience, there's a couple of them where they say, oh yeah, I bought like 70 underage girls to him and we were having massages every single day, sometimes 2-3 times a day. Who the fuck has 3 or 4 massages every single day? It just doesn't make any sense. And okay, there might have been a whole group of people that he was offering it to, but I didn't trust the girl who said that. Because these girls were saying that they were also from trailer parks, that their parents were drug addicts, and therefore their testimony is actually not particularly that credible, especially if the reason why they're saying it could actually be just to sue a bunch of people and try and make a ton of money out of it. And not one person who talks about the Epstein list talks about it in a logical way. We don't want to know the client list. We want to know the victims, their stories, who they specifically went with, and the people that they did it with when underage. And even if they were underage, who knew? If you've just gone to have a massage with someone, they look 18, they act 18, they sound 18, you think they're 18, and you have a session with them, that doesn't mean that you're a paedophile because you generally might have not known that they were underage. And it's really annoying me because it's almost like they're saying anyone on this client list is a paedophile and a pervert and a rapist, and they're constantly referring to these massage people as victims, and it's annoying me because I've done it for a very long time and I remember how it started. It was started because I was jobless for a very long time. I couldn't get a job, I was applying for everything and I just couldn't get anyone to respond to me. I was feeling incredibly low. I was feeling incredibly sad, feeling like maybe I should just become a prostitute. That was the only thing that seemed like a possibility. And then I found massage and I found, look, I don't have to do a prostitute. I don't have to be a prostitute. I can just offer a massage and okay, yes, they might grab my ass and they might lie on me whilst naked or something like can I massage you? And then you start feeling relaxed and you say, okay, yeah. And then they ask if they can sit on you and you say, okay, yeah. And that's how it is. And okay, I don't like doing this and I feel very uncomfortable. And sometimes they can get aggressive, but at the same time, that job saved my life because it took me out of the £50 a week depression that I was in. I'd spent 3 years living off £50 a week, feeling like I can't even afford a 50p bus journey because I had no money and all I wanted to do was get a proper job and I couldn't get anyone to respond to me. And massage was my saviour. It saved me, okay? That job saved me. And then to have the same people go through the same experiences and then to have a huge number of people just referring to them as victims and referring to anyone on this client list as pedophiles. And there was plenty of people that I heard who said that they were 18, 19 when they started. And okay, there might have been some that were 16 and 17, but that does not mean that anyone that had a massage with them is a pedophile and knew that they were younger. And okay, maybe there were some that led to more, but you need to know the details. You can't just clump it all in one, and it really is pissing me off because it's like the public just seems to have no ability to see vibration, like different variations of what's wrong. You can't just say that there's a big long list of all the paedophiles that have had sex with children, because this is not what it's about. Massage is where you go for a massage and you get a variety of clients. Some generally just want a massage, some want a massage with an ending, some want body to body, and maybe some do want sex, but there's a huge range of people, and some are good and some are bad. And therefore, for the public to be just so blind and to just say anyone on this list is a pervert and a rapist, and they've got kids in these islands, and hundreds of people are victims, and then they start talking about there being lots of videos of this, and I'm just thinking, what are these videos? Because if all the videos is just of a 16-year-old masseuse walking into a place with him, and there's just a video of them walking in and out of a building, that is not that is not what's pedophilic. That's not pedophilia. You think of kids, like 6-year-olds being given blowjobs to guys. If I think of child pornography, I don't think of that because I don't want to think of that, but that's what I assume. Real kids doing sexual acts, and if he's got a bunch of real paedophilic. But why is everyone gaslighting this? I don't know why they're gaslighting it. It's like by saying that there is no list, when of course there's a list. There was a session, there was massage clients, yes, this was a real thing. So why not just say that not everyone that had a massage at this centre on this island is a paedophile, because not every person working there was under 18. Why are they gaslighting it by just pretending that this list doesn't exist, or saying that they're not going to expose the list or whatever? I don't know what they're saying, but it's really, really angry. It's really pissing me off, because it's like the public just have no ability to see sense or truth or anything. Like if you're a 12-year-old who has absolutely no money and your parents can barely afford to feed you, and someone gives you £200 for just taking your top off, okay. How old did I say? If you're a 16-year-old, I mean, not did I just say 12? I can't remember what I just said. If you're a 16-year-old and I have no idea what I just said. I've just blanked it out. But if you're a 16-year-old and you don't have money, and someone's willing to give you £200 for a topless massage, you are not a victim. Because at the time, you would probably actually be like, wow, I'm so grateful for this guy that's giving me money. Even the excitement of walking into a nice home, there seems to be two different types of people. You've got the super rich that just have amazing lives and can afford stuff, can afford a house, can afford that. And then you've got the poor that just have nothing. And this poor, they have a different view on what good and bad is, and to be able to walk into a nice home and work in a nice home and work in a nice environment and be around people that have posh voices and seem to be respectful, and this is very different from the trailer park trash and the dangers that they might face from getting constant harassment from randomers around. This is the sort of life that a lot of people live, the poor life. And then if they get a taster of the nice life and can actually make £200 for doing a session that maybe makes them feel uncomfortable, but at the same time they can earn something, and then to think that the public's just going to call them victims. You're a victim if you're living in a trailer park. You're a victim if you have, a drug addict mum. You're a victim if you've got shitty parents that just kept giving birth to more and more kids, only to find that most of them ended up in social services because they couldn't actually look after any of them. They didn't have the money. That makes you a victim, and earning £200 for a topless massage when you're 16, that's not the victimist part. That's just the victim saying, I've had a horrible shitty life and I'm going to see if I can use this story to make money out of it, by capturing sympathy vote from the audience. And it's really annoying.
We have flight logs, we have information, names, that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that they're...
But I don't care about the names. I care about the crime, not the names. You can give me a whole bunch of lists of people that have had a massage. That means absolutely nothing. It's what the victims are saying, or what if there are victims. What is it? Are they saying that because if you were 17 and you agreed to have sex with someone for £15,000, you're not a rapist. You're not. I mean, not a rape person. You're not. This is not rape. It's not rape. If you're a 17-year-old that's just had sex for £15,000, you're now a completely wealthy person compared to how much you had before that happened. It's just so annoying. It really is. It really is. It really, really is. You know, there are 16-year-olds right now who are working the streets for 50 quid an hour. There are plenty of 12-year-olds that are having sex with people for £200 an hour. And if you know, I want the details. If you're going to say stuff, you have to give me the details. How old? How much were they getting? And if it was a lot, then it's, I don't know. I don't give a shit about the client list. The client list means absolutely nothing. It's the things, it's what they've done. It's the details that's important.
Were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret.
I don't want to know about no, it's not about hiding hiding people. It's about telling what the information is. What the information. I don't give a shit about the names. Information.
That's why they're going after
She's winding me up.
Bondi instead of playing the victim card. Let's take a look at the facts. Who is doing a fantastic job? A lot of people would disagree. We're on one team, MAGA. And this is where you have to ask yourself, are you on team MAGA or are you on team Jesus Christ? Team truth. Which one is it? Because clearly
Jesus
Trump
isn't
is
real.
hiding a lot, suppressing a lot for some reasons. And I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration. Definitely debatable. The talk of the world and selfish people. So by selfish people, does he mean people who want to know who is in the Epstein files? Because they are pedophiles and wicked, disgusting
Well,
people.
how do you know they're pedophiles? You have to know the story. You can't just say they're pedophiles because they're on a list. If they're pedophiles, if they're on a pedophile list, but the Epstein is not a pedophile list. From what I've understood, he had a group of masseuses. Many of them were 18, 19, and maybe some were younger. But yeah, oh God, can you not tell the difference? Can you not tell the difference?
What, before a court and justice be served? Those people are selfish, are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to the files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan?
This guy just pisses me off, and it's just really annoying. And I don't understand why people are constantly talking about this, and I don't know why people are constantly gaslighting it, and I don't know why people are going on about stupid things. It's not about the list of who had a massage at this place. It's about the details on what the massage, what it entailed. I hate people.